fight against illegal fishing practices, which has become even more necessary as the safety of fishes that end up on the market are compromised. Experts are warning the use of light, dynamite and other chemicals in harvesting fishes in the sea are increasingly contaminating them, putting consumers at risk. Now, illegal fishing practices, together with other environmental challenges, are contributing to the loss of Ghana's coastal resources and, by extension, the livelihoods of those living along the coast. My colleague Adelaide Arthur has been interacting with some fisher folks in the four coastal regions who lament the situation is getting out of hand. She'll be joining me in the studio shortly for some more discussions. But before that, Dr. Benjamin Campion, who is with the Department of Fisheries and Watershed Management at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, has been explaining these illegal fishing methods and their negative effects on coastal resources. Take a listen.
These fishermen, what they do is that they use light, that's with the help of a generator they carry aboard when they are going, and then they dip it into the water, and then the fishes are attracted to the light. And therefore, when they aggregate, then they use a net to encircle it. Yeah, they could just harvest it that way, but of course, our fishermen want to increase the efficiency. And so with that, they then blast it with dynamite, or they can use chemicals to kill it. It's just to ensure that all the species or all the fishes that have been aggregated are dead. So that's one way by which they do it. That's an illegal fishing method.
But looking at this one that you're saying that they use the light to aggregate the fishes, what are the implications? Because when you use light, I presume that now every fish, every kind, whether they are small or big, they will surround the light.
Yeah, that's exactly so. When you aggregate the fish, of course, that's non-targeted fishing. Our licensing regime, usually most of them do target fishing. But when you use the light, that means all the fishes come, young, old, and therefore you have a lot of them that end up being trapped. And therefore, when you kill all the fishes that are involved. So you kill even the gravid females, that's in the layman's term, the pregnant females that might have been going to lay their eggs are all killed by that means.
Apart from the fact that you are able to aggregate all those that you are not supposed to catch, I understand that the blast affects a certain radius of that area. Can you give us a bit of explanation on that?
Yeah, so depending on the quantity of dynamite that they use, then it can affect a very wide range. And then that means that apart from killing the fishes, of course, it's an ecosystem. You have the sea floor, which is made up of all sorts of organisms and also non-living things, but all help to create that dynamic system that fishes thrive in. Now, when they blast, especially corals in recent times have been very important. When they blast, all those systems are destroyed, and it will take a very long time to replenish. So the range of the blast depends on the quantity of chemical that has been used or detonated in the water.
And we've also heard some of the fishmongers complaining about the differences between the ones that are caught legally and illegally. They are saying it turns black, it smells bad, it goes bad quickly. Have you done any kind of research to associate these chemicals like carbide to the faster rate at which these fishes go bad?
Yeah, there is fish deterioration, or the rate of spoilage, of course, is directly related to the catching method. So if fishes are caught regularly through entanglement, we are talking of them caught in the net, the regular fishing method, then of course they take a longer time to die. They die slowly, and therefore the rate of spoilage is also decreased. Yeah, and so when they are caught that regularly, of course, you see that the skin is also uniform. You see that there is no any lesions or destroyed body parts. Yeah, but when they have been used, especially the ones that have been blasted using dynamite, then of course you have them the shock of sudden death, and of course blood is suddenly spilled to other parts. So you find that the gills are relatively darker. the usual fish gills, that's when you raise the operculum, the usual fish gills are brown. Yeah, reddish brown. But when they are dynamited, then usually they are dark. Yeah, also the eyes are red shot, that's very red. And of course, the whole fish looks bloody. Some are highly mutilated, torn into pieces. Yeah. So, of course, then when you have blood and others mixed up with the fish, then deterioration is faster. And that makes that reduces the quality of the fish.
My colleague Adelaide Arthur joins me in the studio. Hello, Adelaide. Good to see you. Which communities did you visit and what did you observe with this fishing thing?
Yeah, we first went to the Shama Apol London Beach, and then from there we went to the Albert Bosomtresam Harbour in 2nd D. We went to Axim, we went to Elmina, we came to Botiano, we went to the Volta region of Butiakopa in Keta, and then the last place was Azizanya in Ada. And in all these communities, you have fishermen actually explaining that, in fact, they understand the fact that illegal fishing is bad, but then they are compelled to do it because they need to survive. Yeah.
But you heard the scientists talk about, but even that, before that, what did the fishermen say are their reasons for engaging in this illegal fishing?
First of all, they said, they mentioned this fishing practice called cycle, where you have large industrial vessels or trawlers stationed deep within the sea, and then they harvest fishes, and then those that they do not want, they offload them back into the sea. And so for them to offload them into the sea, then it's better for fishermen to at least go there and purchase it. So what fishermen on land do is that they call their officers, they pay up, they get coordinates, and then they go there and then they buy the fishes from them. And so these fishermen who use canoes and boats are complaining that because of the activities of these big trawler vessels, they are unable to make any catch. And so they've had to travel further into the sea to try and see if they can harvest some fishes. And they also blame those who do light fishing, because as the researcher explained, when you use the light, you aggregate the fishes. They come to you, whether they are pregnant, whether they are small, they come. Once they have them in the net, they use the dynamite, they explode it, they kill all of them, and then they harvest them. So when that happens, those nearer to shore are unable to get any catch. And then you have those doing the light fishing also blaming it on those doing the cycle, because they're also saying that because of those practicing the cycle, if they don't do light fishing, they wouldn't get anything. So it's as if people doing illegal things blaming those who are also doing illegal things. So yeah, that's what's going on now.
But listening to the scientists explain everything, you can tell how dangerous and the dire implications all of the activities have on the human life. Are they aware of these implications?
Yes, interestingly, all the fishermen that we spoke to, especially the chief fishermen that we spoke to, they said that they are aware that illegal fishing practices, especially light fishing and the use of dynamite, they are aware it is bad. They are aware of how it affects the fishes that they bring to land, but they are unable to stop because, according to them, they need to survive. And when we went to Botiano, there was this fishmonger who told us a story about the fact that her husband's friends keep telling him that, look, if you don't do light fishing, we are going to do it because that's the only way we will survive. When we go, even if we don't get a bumper harvest, at least we get fish. So if you think that you're going to, because of your conscience, you're not going to use any illegal means, you can stay and be starving with your family. And then we also have, when we went to Abutiakopa, you know, there is this ban on the use of monofilament net, because they have tiny holes, and when you use it, you catch the fingerlings. But ideally, these small fishes are to be allowed to mature and grow. But when you catch all of them, it means that the next time you go to sea, you're unable to get anything. So they are aware of the implications. They are aware of the health implications. In fact, the fishmongers can distinguish between the fish that is caught using a safe method and those that are caught using illegal means. But when you speak to them, they also tell you that, well, that is what they've brought, and we have no other option than to buy. So what they are saying is that if government gets tough on illegal fishing, as in enforce the laws on illegal fishing, then they will also stop. Because when we went to Second D, they told us about the fact that they report people engaging in illegal fishing to the marine police. They go there, they don't do anything. In fact, when we went to Botiano, chief fisherman, Adam Tete II, he was really bitter because, according to him, he has made several reports to the police, and when he reports all these illegal fishing practices, he ends up getting the trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, so because of that, he's
been discouraged.
Exactly, he's at a loss as to what to do, because whenever he's trying to do the right thing, he gets into trouble.
He gets into trouble.
And then they also complain about some top politicians calling the police to release those who have been caught doing illegal fishing. So it's as if the law is not working. Those who are supposed to enforce the law are not doing that.
Definitely. This very unpleasant. Of course, we're told that it's good to eat fish, but how healthy is the fish you're consuming? I think we should listen to Fisherfolk from the 4 coastal regions.
Commander na so da adina wotu aga abaka sekandi ansa na waatwo no bom na abofo no na ndu ma wo hia.
Both from Commander and Elmina come to Sekendi to fish. Foreigners who fish in this area offload fishes they don't want into the sea. We always find dead fishes in this area, which is bad.
Sekendi, you know, and now I want water light. Aban Nankasa, the regional office Nankasa one, Nas Nankasa, no water light. No,
Sekendi fishermen engage in light fishing even close to the regional office. It's worrisome because we in Axim obey the laws on illegal fishing, but those in Sekendi don't. But we are all aware that when we stop light fishing, the trade will improve.
So if you are, you are obejine.
Saiko no, oni na wa me de menu bi na wa ba. First no, the menu me na yan fon kwapo. Because always on what podo.
It is the psycho fishing practice that has compelled us to engage in illegal fishing. Those engaged in psycho are stationed on the sea and always harvesting fish which we no longer find close to the shore. We now use about 2 drums of premixed fuel, which cost us about 1,400 cedis to enable us to travel farther into the sea. It is very expensive to do fishing now, and so we are compelled to use illegal methods, else we won't make any catch.
And see, I want to use the main it is was stop as I could not the main so use because I want to arm the menu be no abba.
No, mamma, no, mamma, sound come the first, you know. No, no, my own way, I sound one cacayan. Namely a fresh pa.
My hands itch every time I process the fish. It wasn't so in the past, when they used to bring fresh fish. What the fishermen bring now are always red in color. When we challenge the fishermen, they deny using illegal methods, but we are certain the fish they bring now are not the same as before. Government should act immediately to stop this.
There are
some boats and canoe fishermen who use dynamite, but the Association of Ghana Inshore Fishers tries to discourage members from using dynamite. But it is true that we do light fishing.
Light fishing. I'm watching Ada Pram.
We in Abutia Kope don't do light fishing. Those from Ada, Pram, and other areas come to our territory and engage in light fishing. We try to arrest them when we see them doing it. I have personally arrested some people fishing illegally.
Oh, ezanya biomo. Gomati bunyenetu wange enoye. No wange enoyo.
We in Azizanya obey the law on illegal fishing, but because we travel far to harvest fishes, we need a cold store to preserve them. We don't get any fish here in our waters, so we are compelled to travel far to fish.
So you heard some fisher folks talking about how they engage in this illegal fishing. Obviously, some of them know, they are aware of the dangers, but
Yes,
they have no, I mean, they can't stop because they say it's their livelihood. So what's accounting for this kind of blame game they're playing among themselves?
It's interesting because when you go to Botiano, they will tell you that they don't do illegal fishing, but you have fishermen from Adan and its environs invading their waters to engage in illegal fishing. You go to Abutiakofa, they tell you the same story. That fishermen from Adan come invading their waters. And when they challenge them, they fight with them. But then we went to Azizanya, which is a fishing community in Adan, and they also say that, in fact, they've never engaged in any light fishing, and they blame the community surrounding them. So, in fact, the chief fisherman proudly was showing us a certificate, a citation he was awarded by the Fisheries Ministry for practicing safe fishing.
So it looks like the blame game continues, and we are unable to settle on who is responsible for all this.
But it looks like most of them are saying fishermen from Adan, because when we went to Azizanya, which is part of Adan, they also said that it's fishermen from neighboring communities.
And
like
Adan is one of the communities.
Exactly, because you know Adan, there are several landing sites in Adan. So
definitely.
Exactly. So we went to Azizanya, and they are saying they don't do it, but then other neighboring communities do it.
So it looks like most of them are laying the blame at the doorstep of Adan.
Adan fishermen.
They definitely have to rescue themselves. Their reputation is at stake.
Yes.
Well, many thanks to Adelaide Arthur came through with that, and we'll take a break on the pulse. When we come back, what's the latest on sports? You don't want to miss the man who loves sports. We'll bring you the very latest from that field.